But for women, there's quite a bit of an increase during the transition to menopause. Women's estrogens, on the other hand, start fading in midlife during menopause, which is anything but symptom-free. We associate menopause with the ovaries, but when women say that they're having hot flashes, night sweats, insomnia, memory lapses, depression, anxiety, those symptoms don't start in the ovaries. They start in the brain. Those are neurological symptoms. We're just not used to thinking about them as such. So why is that? Why are our brains impacted by menopause? Well, first of all, our brains and ovaries are part of the neuroendocrine system. So the health of the ovaries is linked to the health of the brain and the other way around. At the same time, hormones like estrogen are not only involved in reproduction, but also in brain function. And estrogen in particular, or estradiol, is really key for energy production in the brain. If your estrogen is high, your brain energy is high. When your estrogen declines, though, your neurons start slowing down and age faster. And studies have shown that this process can even lead to the formation of amyloid plaques, or Alzheimer's plaques, which are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. These effects are stronger in specific brain regions, starting with the hypothalamus, which is in charge of regulating body temperature. When estrogen doesn't activate the hypothalamus correctly, the brain cannot regulate body temperature correctly. So those hot flashes that women get, that's the hypothalamus. Then there's the brainstem, in charge of sleep and wake. When estrogen doesn't activate the brainstem correctly, we have trouble sleeping. Or it's the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, close to the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. When estrogen levels ebb in these regions, we start getting mood swings perhaps and forget things. So this is the brain anatomy of menopause, if you will. But let me show you what an actual woman's brain can look like. So this is a kind of brain scan called positron emission tomography, or PET, that looks at brain energy levels. And this is what you want your brain to look like when you're in your 40s. Really nice and bright. Now, this brain belongs to a woman who was 43 years old when she was first scanned, before menopause. And this is the same brain just 8 years later, after menopause. If we put them side by side, I think you can easily see how the bright yellow turned orange, almost purple. That's a 30% drop in brain energy levels. In our studies with hundreds of people, we showed that middle-aged men usually have high brain energy levels. For women, brain energy is usually fine before menopause, but then it gradually declines during the transition. It didn't matter if the women were 40, 50, or 60. What mattered most was that they were in menopause. So, of course, we need more research to confirm this, but it looks like women's brains in midlife are more sensitive to hormonal aging than just straight-up chronological aging. And this is important information to have because so many women can feel these changes. So many of our patients have said to me that they feel like their mind's playing tricks on them, to put it mildly. So I really want to validate this because it's real. It's important. So many women are worried that they might be losing their minds, right? But the truth is that your brain might be going through a transition or is going through a transition, and it's time and support to adjust.